Hello and welcome back to Code with Ibra. In this particular video, we are going to look at how we can make accordions. Okay, so I've taken the time to explain everything and make it very brief. So all that you need is in this video. So if you see accordion, we are talking about this one. Over here, you can see when you click on it and then it expands. When you click on it again, then it's gone. You can see when we hover, we have a background. We click on it, the background stays. You click on it again, then the background leaves. All right, so this is what we are coming to look at in this video. Thank you so much, and let's continue. Okay, so over here we can see that we have our folder, and then we don't have anything inside the folder, so we first have to create our HTML file, that is the index, and then from there we go ahead to create our style.css. Now this particular project will need a little bit of JavaScript, some few lines, so we get to also add our script file, script.js. all right, so from there we head to the index.html and then we generate our template. All right, so first thing first, we will need three things. So we will need the accordion controller, container. This is the container that the whole accordion will be inside. Okay, everything will be inside this particular container, accordion container. Others too can choose to call it accordion wrapper, but whichever way you go by, it is perfectly fine. I choose accordion controller. And then from there we move on to the button that we will click. Okay, so there's a button that when we click, the content expand. When we click again, then the content go back to how it was, the contraction. Okay, so to do that, we create our button. Let's call it let me call it section 1, and then we will give it a class called accordion btn. Accordion btn. Since it is a button, we prefix it with btn, and then from there we create another div to hold the content, and this one we call it panel. Okay, so inside the panel, that is where we will be having our content, whatever we want the accordion to hold. So over here I will create a p, and then I will generate some random, okay, so let me say p, then lorem 20. So this one will generate a dummy lorem text of 20 characters. Okay, so this is what we have. Let me just copy and paste it twice, and then that should do it. So let me go and then let's look at the changes in the browser. So right click and go to open with live server. Okay, so open with live server. All right, so at the moment this is what we have. Okay, it is not really fine, so let's do a couple of styling to make it look good. All right, so that means we have to head to our CSS, and to do that we'll do the linking, that is the style.css, and then also let me link the JavaScript file. JavaScript must always be linked before the closing of the body, so script.js, and then let me change this one to accordion. Very good. We head to the style.css, and then first thing first, I want to change I want to start with the accordion button. Okay, so you come here, accordion container first, and then the one we want to begin, that is the accordion btn. Okay, so the accordion btn, this is what really we have to do. So first let me give it a background color of EE, and then I'll give it a color of 444. This is what we have now. So yes, we have given it a background and also a color. So from there I'll have to also give it a weight of 100% so that it spanned to the end of the screen. That is it, right? Okay, very good. Then let me also give it a padding. So a padding of 18 pixels, and then text align, we set it to left, we don't want it to be center. So let's look at the changes now. Of course, this is what you are seeing. Now it's looking big because I have increased I've zoomed in so that you can have a perfect look at it. So that is not it. We have to also continue and then do other things. That is like the border. We set the border to none, and then we also set the outline also to none. So looking at it, this is now our button. Okay, this is now a button, and of course I want it in such a way that when you hover, that when you put the mouse, we want the hand, the pointing hand. Okay, so that is the cursor. Change the cursor to pointer. All right. Okay, so that is it. We are done with the button. It's left with the panel. So when we say panel, we are talking about the one that will hold the content. Okay, so panel. So the accordion panel. So this one will have a padding of top and bottom of 0 pixel and then 18. That is left and right. So yeah, that is it. And then you can see that we have some space here. There are some space here. All right, so what we have to do next is we have to do a couple of things. And what I have to do is we have to say that the overflow. Okay, so let's set the height to 0. The height to be 0. When we set the height to 0, look at what happened. You see that it is still there, even though we've given it a 0 height. That is because the overflow property has not been set to hidden, so it will still show. What is happening here is the children are overflowing their parent. So to take this out, we use a property called overflow, and then we set it to hidden. Overflow hidden will make sure that the children will not overlap their parent, right? Very good. So now you can see that we have only section 1 that is being shown here. But then it is not only the section 1. The panel is there, but by default, the panel is what? Is hidden. Now the idea is when we click on the button, we want the panel to expand and the content to show. When we click it again, then everything should go away. Simple as that. So in order to achieve that, what we have to do is we have to come to JavaScript. Okay, we have to come to JavaScript, and then we tell JavaScript that when we click on the button, we want an action to be triggered. Okay, very good. So what you do is we head over to the JavaScript file, and then I create a variable, and let me call or so accordion btn list. So this is the list of all the accordions. Okay, now those following my tutorials, you know that I've not really started with JavaScript, but then this is just a taste of it. After here, we are going to start with JavaScript. So don't worry, just do exactly as I'm doing. Very soon you get everything clearly. So document.query selector or .accordion button. Now this is what is happening behind the scenes. We are telling the browser that okay, so you are telling the JavaScript, go to the document, which is this particular, the entire page. If you go to the HTML document, search for, okay, so query selector all right, so query selector, that means select all the element that has a class of what? BTN. Now mind you, at the moment it is only one that we have here, so very soon we'll be having them all of them. Okay, so for now it will select only one. When you have more, it will select the available ones. Okay, so that is what this particular one is doing. So the variable here will hold a list of accordion buttons that are available in the HTML page. Okay, so when we do that, we want to perform or do a particular function for all of them. Okay, a particular function for all of them. So what we do is we say that accordion list dot for each. So this particular function is for all the items. Okay, so for each, so from there we come and say item, that is each particular item or each particular button. Better let me call it a button so that we understand it. Okay, so each particular button is this one. It's represented by this one. So with this, we stop here and let me show you something here. So come back to the HTML, and when you come back to the HTML, I want you to add a class called active. You see this particular class. What we want to do is each time we add the active class, we want the panel to expand. When we remove it, then the panel will go back to how it was. It will be contracted, right? Okay, so how we can do that is this accordion button here. Accordion button dot active. Okay, let me just do a copy of this one. Pretty simple. So this one is just there. We will do something here. So this is, look at what is happening behind the scenes. We are saying that accordion container dot active. That means if the accordion container, being this particular guy here, has a class within that is called active, if it is true, then whatever we specify here will kick in. So what do we want to do? If this particular active, if the active is here, we want the panel to expand. Now you know that by default we've given the panel a height of 0. So whenever it's active, we want the panel to have a height of fit content. So the height will just fit the content that is inside. Okay, so you can see that with just this, when we give the class active, it is set now. If we remove it, you will see that it is gone, right? So this is what we are coming to use JavaScript for. So let's do a few more things, a couple of things, and then we head over to finish everything with JavaScript. Now at the moment you can see that our button, when we hover, nothing happens. So I want it to be in such a way that when we put the mouse over, there will be a background. All right, so that is what you are coming to do. So head over to the text editor and say that, okay, so accordion button dot hover, the accordion button dot hover, when you hover, we want to give it a background of CCC. Okay, so testing it now, we can see that now when we hover, we have the CCC sitting here right now. Very good. And not only that, sorry, I'm having some headaches. Okay, that is why the way I speak is changing, but very soon it will be okay. So we come back to the code editor, and then we also want to tell the browser that each time the accordion is expanded, okay, each time the panel is expanded, like how we saw from here, each time it's expanded, we want the button to have this particular background of deep gray or whatever you call it. Okay, so to do that, we also come here with the CSS, and we say each time the accordion container has a class of active, we want the accordion button to also have a background called a background of CCC. Okay, so watch this. Now you see the active, it is now active. We can see that our panel is expanded, and also the background is what is changed to the gray color. Okay, that is simply because the accordion has the active class. When you remove it, everything will fly away. Perfect. So this is basically what you are going to do with JavaScript. Now it's very simple. So head over to JavaScript and let's continue. Now this particular variable is holding the list of the accordion buttons, right? And then over here we are running a particular function for all the buttons. We don't want to do it each for line by line. We want to write a particular function that will be applicable to all the buttons. So to do that, we come here to say that now button, which is the accordion button, dot on click. This is self-explanatory. When you click on it, we want this function to trigger. And what this function will trigger is, you see, when you come to the HTML, accordion button is this particular guy here, right? So let me ask you, who do you think the parent of this button will be? Of course, it's not going to be the panel, right? The parent of the accordion button is going to be the accordion container, right? That is it. This one is just a siblings, but this one is the parent of everything inside. So what we are going to do is, we are going to say that each time that we click this particular button, we want to target the parent of this particular button, which is what? This one. And then we add the class of what? Active. Okay. This is very simple. So to do this, we say that whenever we click on the button, we say that the button dot okay. So yes, how we can do, so we perform the function for all the buttons. So we say that the button dot parent element. Okay, so the button dot parent element means target the parent of this particular button. We could have used this, but then maybe later when we start JavaScript I'll explain more. So button dot parent element dot classless dot toggle. All right, and then toggle the active. Look at something. So you see that, go tell the button that, okay, button, target the parent, which is this one, and when we target the parent, check the class. Okay, so that means we will go to the class of the parent and then we will toggle this active. What the toggle means is when we click on it, it will add the class. When we click on it again, it will what? Remove it. So as for the toggling, it's just like the switch of a torch. When you push it, it is on. You push it again, it is off. It's like a radio button. That is the toggle. Okay, yes. So with this, we can now come to test to see if it is working. Oh, okay, let me come back. When you click, it's on. We click on, it's off. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this one a couple of times so that we can look at how the whole thing works. So 1, 2, 3, and then let me give it, this one is section 2 and then this one is section 3. Okay, so come to the star and then yeah, that is it. So these are the accordions that we have. You click on this one, it expands. You click on this one, it expands. Okay, because it has expanded, you can see that the background has changed. You click on it again, it's gone. You click on it again, it's gone. But of course they are clustered together, so for us to have some spaces in between, we can give some margin to the accordion container. Maybe 10 pixels can do. So from there, that is it. They are setting each other, each on their line. You click on this one, it expands. You click on this one, it expands. You click on this one too, it expands. All right, so this is very simple and something small I want to show you guys. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. I would like to see your like and also your comment. Thank you so much, and we will meet in the next lecture. Bye bye.